Spotlights blazed on either side of the creature. The only exit was a tunnel right behind the dais. The mechanical spider scuttled between the Sphinx's paws and disappeared. Annabeth started forward, but the Sphinx roared, showing fangs in her otherwise human face. Bars came down on both tunnel exits, behind us and in front. Immediately, the monster's snarl turned into a brilliant smile. "Welcome, lucky contestants," she announced. "Get ready to play. Answer that riddle." Canned applause blasted from the ceiling, as if there were invisible loudspeakers. Spotlights swept across the room and reflected off the dais, throwing disco glitter over the skeletons on the floor. "Fabulous prizes," the Sphinx said. "Pass the test, and you get to advance. Fail, and I get to eat you. Who will be our contestant?" Annabeth grabbed my arm. "I've got this," she whispered. "I know what she's going to ask." I didn't argue too hard. I didn't want Annabeth getting devoured by a monster, but I figured if the Sphinx was going to ask riddles, Annabeth was the best one of us to try. She stepped forward to the contestants' podium, which had a skeleton in a school uniform hunched over it. She pushed the skeleton out of the way, and it clattered to the floor. "Sorry," Annabeth told it. "Welcome, Annabeth Chase," the monster cried, though Annabeth hadn't said her name. "Are you ready for your test?" "Yes," she said. "Ask your riddle." 20 riddles, actually," the Sphinx said gleefully. "What? But back in the old days..." "Oh, we've raised our standards. To pass, you must show proficiency in all 20. Isn't that great?" Applause switched on and off like somebody turning a faucet. Annabeth glanced at me nervously. I gave her an encouraging nod. "Okay," she told the Sphinx. "I'm ready." A drum roll sounded from above. The Sphinx's eyes glittered with excitement. "What is the capital of Bulgaria?" Annabeth frowned. For a terrible moment, I thought she was stumped. "Sophia," she said. "But..." "Correct!" More canned applause. The Sphinx smiled so wide her fangs showed. "Please be sure to mark your answer clearly on your test sheet with a number 2 pencil." "What?" Annabeth looked mystified. Then a test booklet appeared on the podium in front of her, along with a sharpened pencil. "Make sure you bubble each answer clearly and stay inside the circle," the Sphinx said. "If you have to erase, erase completely, or the machine will not be able to read your answers." "What machine?" Annabeth asked. The Sphinx pointed with her paw. Over by the spotlight was a bronze box with a bunch of gears and levers and a big Greek letter eta on the side, the mark of Hephaestus. "Now," said the Sphinx. "Next question." "Wait a second," Annabeth protested. "What about what walks on 4 legs in the morning?" "I beg your pardon?" the Sphinx said, clearly annoyed now. "The riddle about man. He walks on 4 legs in the morning, like a baby, 2 legs in the afternoon, like an adult, and 3 legs in the evening, as an old man with a cane. That's the riddle you used to ask." "Exactly why we changed the test!" the Sphinx exclaimed. "You already knew the answer. Now, second question. What is the square root of 16? 4, Annabeth said. "But..." "Correct! Which U.S. president signed the Emancipation Proclamation?" "Abraham Lincoln, but..." "Correct! Riddle number 4. How much..." "Hold up!" Annabeth shouted. I wanted to tell her to stop complaining. She was doing great. She should just answer the questions so we could leave. These aren't riddles, Annabeth said. What do you mean? The Sphinx snapped. Of course they are. This test material is specifically designed. It's just a bunch of dumb, random facts, Annabeth insisted. Riddles are supposed to make you think. Think? The Sphinx frowned. How am I supposed to test whether you can think? That's ridiculous. Now, how much force is required? Stop! Annabeth insisted. This is a stupid test. Annabeth, Grover cut in nervously. Maybe you should just, finish first and complain later. I'm a child of Athena, she insisted, and this is an insult to my intelligence. I won't answer these questions. Part of me was impressed with her for standing up like that, but part of me thought her pride was going to get us all killed. The spotlights glared. The Sphinx's eyes glittered pure black. Why then, my dear, the monster said calmly, if you won't pass, you fail. And since we can't allow any children to be held back, you'll be eaten. The Sphinx bared her claws, which gleamed like stainless steel. She pounced at the podium. Literally no one asked for this one. Sometimes we just have to do things for ourselves, and I've always said that.